Utah County or Salt Lake living? You're trying to decide what one is better for price point, for lifestyle, maybe schools, for recreation. All in this video, we're going to be going into 4 different reasons of what you should choose between Utah County or Salt Lake, because the decision is totally up to you. Hi, my name is Jenny. If you're new to my page, I am with Real Broker, and I would love to be on your journey of knowing when your next move is going to be, but I want to educate you. I want to help you make that decision so that when you do reach out to me, you feel like you can talk to me, you can feel like we can have a conversation, you can feel like you can trust my professionalism, because I've been in this business for over 10 years doing investment, new builds, single family homes, land, you name it. I have done it in this business. And let's talk about this, because do you want to live in Salt Lake County or do you live in Utah County? So there's 4 topics we're going to be going over, and one of those is the cost of living and the housing. There's very different cost of living when it comes to Utah County and Salt Lake County. The second one is the lifestyle and the community, also very different. Number 3, the commute and the transportation. Majority of your jobs are in one county versus the other, but one is up and coming with lots of potential. And number 4, the recreation and the scenery. I would say those are very similar, but we're going to go over all 4 of those in this video coming up here. Okay, the first one, cost of living and housing. I would say this is probably the biggest difference out of all 4 of our topics that we're going to be talking about today, besides maybe lifestyle, culture. So the cost of living in Salt Lake County is obviously more expensive, and the reason of that being is their land opportunity is not nearly as much as what Utah County has right now. What that means is there's more new build happening in Utah County, and Salt Lake County is getting pretty maxed out. For the demand and the supply, that means when you have less supply, then it increases the demand and increases the price point. Now, you've got older homes in Salt Lake County, but you have more opportunity when it comes to jobs, location, transportation, more schools over there. So naturally, it creates a more expensive city when it goes to Salt Lake County. Now, when it comes to housing, you also have higher taxes in Utah County. If you're looking for rental opportunities, there's also more rental opportunities. I own a rental in Salt Lake City and Salt Lake City County, and I also own a rental in Utah County. The price point of my home in Salt Lake is worth way more, and that home was built in the 60s. So much of an older home, but because location, it drives up more value. And that's kind of the story overall in Salt Lake County. So when you're talking about Salt Lake County, we're talking about cities like Draper, Sandy, Riverton, Midvale, Murray, South and West Jordan, Bluffdale, Harriman, all the way up to West Valley. You've got Cottonwood Heights, you've got North Salt Lake, South Salt Lake, a lot of these different cities in Salt Lake City. This is what I'm talking about. Also the transportation. So when you're talking about cost of living, you also have less transportation. You've got more bus systems, you've got the UTA system that runs all throughout the entire county, whereas Utah County doesn't have that. They're working on it when it comes to busing and it comes to transportation, but the majority of the people in Utah County will be driving their own car, so you could need to be factoring maybe more gas prices. When it comes to cost of groceries, we're about equal when it comes to Utah and Salt Lake County. Salt Lake has a really good niche when it comes to recreational facilities and for libraries. I've heard that their library cards are better than Utah County, because in Utah County, you have to live in the city in order to access the library, whereas in Salt Lake County, you get one card and accesses the entire counties. That's what I've heard. When it comes to schools as well, there's more public and private schools in Salt Lake County. So if you're looking to get into more of a more of a private school, and that's a cost of living to you, maybe that's something to consider, living closer to a private school over there. When it comes to housing opportunities, you're looking at way more single family homes in Salt Lake County and more townhouses and condos in Utah County. With that being said, there's still plenty of single family homes in Utah County. But Salt Lake County, because they are older, you have more land, you have larger trees, and you have older homes over there. Whereas Utah County, I would call definitely more of an up-and-coming county. Does not mean that you're not going to have older homes, but your older cities are going to be like Provo and Orem and Pleasant Grove. I would say those are your 3 main. Then you can definitely get way more older homes, but there's way more land opportunity in places like Springville and Spanish Fork. They've definitely got old homes over there, but it's becoming more of a mix because you've got a lot of new builders over there. So when it comes to cost of living, I would definitely say Your average price point to afford a home in Salt Lake County is reaching about $600,000 for the median price point, whereas Utah County is about $50,000 less than that. So Utah County is more affordable when it comes to actually owning a home, when actually purchasing a home in Salt Lake City. Number 2, lifestyle and community. I would say very different communities and very different lifestyles. And a lot of that comes down to the religion here in Utah. The main predominant religion here is Christianity in Utah. And we're starting to see more of a blue turn in Salt Lake City and definitely more of a red in Utah County. It doesn't necessarily mean they're the battles of politics, but it's just a matter of what kind of lifestyle that you want. When it comes to, are you wanting more of a nightlife? Are you wanting more restaurants, more events, more diversity? Salt Lake City is your jam. You've got more venues for concerts. You've got way more mom and pop. Doesn't mean Utah County is not starting to get those. We're starting to get those. But again, it's an up and coming county versus Salt Lake. Downtown Salt Lake, you get more quick access to so many different more events down there. So people typically who want more of that community and that lifestyle of diversity are going to choose Salt Lake County for sure. When it comes to schools and religions, they're definitely different vibes. So we're seeing more of a blue vibe in Salt, and some people might argue with me on that, but we are starting to see more of a blue vibe when it comes to Salt Lake City, and still more of a red conservative vibe in Utah County. Doesn't mean one is bad or the other, just depends on what you want, right? I'm not going to get into the politician, argument here, because this is 100% about you and what you want to do and where you want to live. When you're talking about family oriented, all of Utah is pretty much family oriented, whether you're in the diversity of, the red or the blue, they're both very family oriented. Most people would say that Utah County has more religious people when it comes to Christianity. Therefore, they are more focused on family. So you are seeing a lot more focus on families in the schools, if that's to say. It's kind of hard to compare the two when it comes to lifestyle, but I will say the biggest difference between the two is definitely going to be crime. You are having more crime in Salt Lake County, depending on the pockets, right? So West Valley City is the biggest one that people like to point out that has a lot of crime. Obviously, South Salt Lake has been known to have a lot more crime, whereas Utah County doesn't really have any pockets of crime. Again, it's an up and coming city. I live in Eagle Mountain, so I can have an opinion on crime there. I'm seeing a lot more crime in Eagle Mountain than I want to see, if I were to be honest with you. But again, Orem kind of has some crime too, but it's very seldom compared to the rest of the country. I'm talking people come here and holy cow, this state is so clean. I don't have to worry about someone snagging my bag when I'm walking into a Walmart grocery store. All across the board, whether it's Salt Lake County or Utah County, you're going to have some great cities and opportunities to live in. When it comes to finding a good religion that fits for you, Utah County, I've heard that can be a little bit more difficult because on every corner you are seeing a Mormon church, whereas in Salt Lake City you are seeing more diversity when it comes to Christianity and Buddhism and Catholicism or non-denominational, but mainstream Christianity is really what Utah is known for, which also supports that crime as well. But again, it just depends on your lifestyle. Do you need more transportation? Where are you working? Where do you want to eat dinner every night? Do you want to be 5 minutes away from a really nice, easy restaurant? Or are you willing to commute 15 to 20 minutes? 15, 20-minute commute in Utah County is pretty common, especially when it comes to your groceries. More of an urban lifestyle, more conservative lifestyle, where Utah Salt Lake County is more hustle and bustle. Just depends on what kind of lifestyle you want to be living. Either way, I really think that we could sit down and have a conversation on what your needs are when it comes to school point, when it comes to crime, when it comes to the safety of your kids, when it comes to commute and travel time. We could find a location that works for you, whether it's in Utah County or Salt Lake County. Okay, I kind of went over this one, but this one's the commute and the transportation. Here's the deal. Salt Lake Airport. I've known a lot of people who want to live about 30 minutes away from the Salt Lake Airport. You can't really live in Utah County and be 30 minutes away from the Salt Lake Airport. You can, but you got to add traffic, so it's usually about 45 minutes to an hour, depending on where you live. But Provo Airport, which is in Utah County, just opened up more lines and more opportunities to go out. Also has some cheaper airports, so cheaper flights. So I actually like going to the Provo Airport. They're up and coming. They're only going to keep growing more and more, but I like them. They don't have as many. It's not an international airport, that's for sure. But if people who like to live in Park City, which is Wasatch County, not even Salt Lake County, they like living in Park City because it's got a nice vibe of the Wasatch Range, of the mountains and the activities and the skiing and the hiking and the camping. And it's only 30 minutes away from the Salt Lake Airport. If you're someone who wants to be closer to the airport, I would definitely choose Salt Lake over Utah County, but Provo, it's got a Provo Airport now. So there's still pros and cons on that. If you're someone who doesn't have a car and you need to be able to get to your work on time, Salt Lake County is going to definitely be a lot more friendly. Utah County needs to work on that. Whereas Provo City, that's in Utah County, she has a great transportation system because there's 2 colleges in there. There's a college in Orem and there's a college in Provo. I've done a video on that, walked you through the whole transit system, something they built about 7 years ago, which didn't exist when I went to college. But typically, if you're needing extra transportation and you don't have your own vehicle, or you don't want to drive your own vehicle, or you don't want to commute in your own vehicle, Salt Lake County is going to be your best friend. Whereas Utah County, everybody's driving in their own car. Okay, battle of the recreational and scenery between Salt Lake and Utah County. Honestly, I would give it a 6 all across the board because both of them have the Wasatch Range. Both of them have very different pros and cons, and I know some people will definitely fight me tooth and nail when it comes to Little Cottonwood Canyon and Big Cottonwood Canyon versus like Provo Canyon and American Fork Canyon. Like, everybody's got canyons. Salt Lake's got some great canyons. Utah County's got some great canyons. You're both going to get scenic views. Utah County has the most famous Alpine Loop. We're in fall time right now, so it makes me think about the Alpine Loop, which has got the most majestic colors in the fall time that I have ever seen. Whereas Salt Lake County is definitely known for more of their slopes. You've got Brighton ski resorts. What's the other one? Now Snowbird over there. We're coming up with the Oktoberfest here coming soon. That just tells you a little bit when I'm posting my videos here. But definitely has more of scenery as far as hiking and camping and fishing. Both of them have lakes. Utah County, I would definitely say Salt Lake County doesn't even have a lake though. Utah County's got Utah Lake, but I definitely wouldn't recommend that. There's a lot of algae problems just because there's not a lot of cyclization of waterfalls into that lake. It's kind of just a stagnant lake, so they have a lot of issues there. If you really want lake life, then you definitely need to go to Wasatch County. Wasatch County is more expensive, but reach out to me if you're wanting to have a little bit more of a conversation on that one. But when it comes to like recreational and scenery, I would definitely say they're definitely 6s. Price point, I think, is where it's really going to come down for you because Utah County is cheaper as far as housing prices than it is Salt Lake County. But it just kind of depends on where you need to go, what your commute life is like. So reach out to me so we can have that conversation. I do have a link down there below that you can call me or set up a Calendly time. Text me. I love it when people text me. Stalk me on TikTok, stalk me on Instagram, get to know me, see if I'm the right vibe for you. I've been doing this for about 10 years now. Absolutely love it. And I definitely want to help you with your situation and knowing where's the best place for you to live here in Utah. But until then, you guys, I'll see you in my next videos.